quick bear update here. I got him out in our metro parks and I can't even get him to bite me. He's very concerned with going home. Doesn't necessarily want to be here. Probably misses his mom, misses his home. But as you can tell here, he is absolutely not a threat. So that's interesting. Also feel pretty comfortable petting him with the glove off. However, I'll probably stay away from his face for now. But what's super interesting about this is we're starting to pinpoint by taking him out and doing more things with him, exposing him to new situations such as, being out here away from his home and away from his owner. That's something that has probably never happened in his entire life. Having someone else other than his primary caretaker take him out, into the woods, obviously. But as you can see here, he's really not a threat whatsoever. And that kind of bordered on stupidity there. But that's what I'm known to do. But as we take him out and we put him in more situations like this, we get to kind of pinpoint the areas in which the aggression problem lies. And that gives us a much better idea of the size and the scope of the problem that we're going to have to fix. And there'll be a clip here in a second where I kind of show how he reacts to a complete stranger that we walk by. Actually, there's another stranger coming up here, so that's good. Let me shut up for a sec. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. This is about as beautiful of a day as you can get.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Come on, buddy.
Cute little guy.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, case in point right there. But, again, like I said, putting him in more situations like that, again, I'm repeating myself here, but allows us to pinpoint the scenarios in which we're going to have to eventually confront his issue of blowing up and biting someone. However, right now, the only place that we've seen it happen is at his house, and when his owner is around. So if it's a territorial issue, obviously that's a much smaller issue than if you were just running up and biting strangers that he saw in the street. So that's a good sign. So I'm going to kind of walk by some strangers here, and obviously not let him get close enough to touch them or anything. I'm just going to kind of record how he reacts to complete strangers in public, right? All right, very clearly he didn't run up and try and kill that guy. Heck, he didn't even bark. Now let's see how easy it is to get him to turn away. Come on, bear. Come on, bear. Yeah, still keeping an eye on him, but definitely not fixated, like he wants to eat him. What I'm trying to do here is perhaps document what is looking to be a stark contrast between his behavior at home with strangers and people that he sees and his behavior at a different public location, for example. We walk by 2 more people, and I think that should, that should be enough. That was an entirely different thing that I'll record later if someone were to walk up and try and confront him. That's a separate thing. However, Like I said, we'll document that down the road. Again, walking by some complete strangers. He seems to be keeping an eye on them, but overall doesn't really seem to care. Come here. Again, pretty cool to see. He didn't like give a fuck about that person whatsoever. Eventually, my goal is going to be to get him to a place where we can go out like this, just him and I, and he's enjoying himself and not trying to get back home and get back to his owner. It's a huge goal of mine in his development here, to kind of develop some semblance of confidence without his owner around. That would be cool to see. I'm about to try and put him in my car, and obviously I'm going to handle him, strap him into the car and whatnot. So we'll get to kind of see how he reacts to me touching him in a more enclosed space, which, to be completely honest, if you were to even tell me a week ago, just seeing how he reacts and, goes after my hands when I'm at his house, if you were to ask me whether or not getting him in and out of a car as someone who's not his owner would be, I would have been like, yeah, it's going to be a freaking nightmare. Now, after this session and kind of seeing, as you saw like earlier, I'm just like freaking petting him with my glove off. I don't think it's going to be so much of an issue. I actually think it's going to go quite smoothly. And again, that's how this goes, is going to give us a little bit more information. Come on, buddy. On the situations where his aggression occurs. And I will admit, him not reacting right now and coming at me right now and doesn't mean that when I pick him up at his home and take him there, that nothing's going to happen. What was interesting, though, is there's plenty of videos now of how he reacts to me when I come visit in his backyard. He runs up and he bites me. Okay. However, when we met him at a park here, his owner was just sitting at a picnic table. I walked up. He started barking excitingly, like almost as if he wanted to see me, and he was happy to see me. So that was somewhat of a good sign. And then I walked up to him, kind of put my hands down a little bit. Didn't attack me whatsoever. And then I was kind of able easily to get this. I put this slip lead on him. I put this line on him, and everything went smoothly. But let's try and get him in the car here. Come on, buddy. Come on, big guy. Come on, bear. Come on, bear. Come on, bear. Come on, buddy. Come on, bear. Come on, bear. Come on, buddy. Okay. All right. Well, let's see if there's anywhere we could put this. This is kind of a big jump for him. Come here. Come here. All right. Get my other glove on. A little bit more difficult to do with the holding a camera. Hi, buddy. Hey, bud. Yeah? All right. I'm going to pick you up, okay? That was hilarious. But as you can see, nothing. I'm going to get around the other side. Hey, buddy. He's gonna wait until I start driving, and then he's gonna viciously attack me. Hey, Bear. Hey, buddy. You gotta stay over there. You gotta stay over there, buddy. Come on, bud. Okay. You gonna drive? Alright, I'm gonna have to cut the camera here, but as you can see, not an issue whatsoever. He's a good boy. And part of that is because he's in a completely different state of mind than he is when he's at his house. And he's protecting his territory. He's protecting his mom. He's protecting the other dog in the house. And like I said, I would not expect this whatsoever. Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear. Yeah. And he's tired too. So that plays a role in it. His energy level. Alright. I hope this was interesting. Definitely for me. Say bye, Bear. We're not escaping. Okay. Okay. After today's session, I would be really interested to see how he would react to me in the backyard now. So although I'll be taking him here and on another outing for the next session, when I pick him up, I'm also going to film the same thing I did in the first, I think, 3, maybe 4 sessions, where he just meets me in the backyard. And I'd be really interested to see if he behaves differently. If so, with the owner's really only goal being her friends being able to come over and Bear not attacking them, it could be a good idea to have her meet them at the park first, walk around for a little bit, you know, touch them a little bit, again, have the gloves on and whatnot, before they go ahead and try and confront and meet him at the home. Now, we're still going to have to go through and do our due diligence to make sure that Bear knows that in absolutely no scenario is it okay to bite a human that's simply visiting the house. That's something that he needs to be thoroughly educated on. However, if meeting somebody at a place other than his home goes a long way in helping him to be able to trust them and recognize that they're not a threat, that would be a no-brainer. So just interesting.